Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RockinEsports $700 EU West Tournament. We are still here in the round of 16, but our next team that we're going to be seeing is going to be the RockinEsports themselves versus LoL 101. I'm the FourCourtJester. With me here is Rapid. How you feeling there, dude?
Oh man, really good, and I'm actually really excited to see the actual players from the tournament themselves. RockinEsports' very own EU League of Legends team out here to represent their own site in their own tournament. It's a little bit like TSM playing in the TSM Invitationals, and hopefully they will be just as impressive. So it'll be really interesting to see what they bring out this time around, as I don't think we've gotten a chance to cast them so far this tournament, so it'll be good to get a chance to see what they have to offer.
Indeed. It is always good to see the people running tournaments having their own teams compete. I mean, you see that a lot with the Team Solo Mid Invitational, the Curse Invitationals as well. And, it's also a good chance to, practice your skills. See if there's anybody out there that you can learn from. It's always good to enter these tournaments. More experience only can bring good things for your team, and experience is all about these pro/amateur tournaments are about. I mean, there's a stepping stone going from amateur to pro-am to pro to, like, the high tier, highly paid, or even just the Pharrellin Lords out there. I mean, all this experience adds up, and it is only a good thing. Great to see tournaments like the RockinEsports coming out, and it's also good to see their sponsors, helping out, just providing these incentives for players.
Oh, definitely, and especially in such an awesome tournament like this. I mean, we have $700 in prizes up for grabs on the line, and all sponsored, of course, by our wonderful guys over at ProLimaTech. They have sponsored us with $700 worth of prizes. If you guys want to go ahead and thank them for their support, you can find them at prolimatech.com, and then follow them on Twitter at ProLimaTech over there. And also RockinEsports at rockinesports.net for all of the tournament information, as well as fabulous brackets, which we will hopefully keep you guys updated with periodically through the broadcast.
Yeah, so we are into the round of 16, and it was about a 64-man tournament. We didn't quite fill all the spaces, but in terms of the round of 16, it does look like Easy Mode GG versus Recordinate. We saw Recordinate a little bit earlier on their first match against the Wavia fan club, so they've actually already won that. They are into the quarterfinals as well. So yeah, good job for Recoordinate. They were a very strong team early on. Still in the round of 16, RockinEsports versus LoL 101. That is the game that we are currently in. And this is the team you were talking about, Druckwell, or Druckwil, or my terrible Canadian tongue.
Yeah, in German the W is a V, so it's more like Druckwille. I know I was actually casting an EPS match with Joe Miller, and he can pronounce that word in a way that makes my loins moist. So I'm definitely not German, nor can I pronounce it the same way he can. But I definitely know that it is a really awesome word. So if anybody in chat can pronounce that because you're actually from Germany or you know German, then just go ahead and say that to yourself 10 times. Feel really happy that you're just that awesome. So yeah, Drukvela actually advancing over both Team Galactica and are now, I believe, playing You Think I'm Playing in the round of 16. So hopefully they will go ahead and advance. Actually, have they already played that match? I'm not sure.
Well, if they have, the results are not posted, but they should be in that match right about now because we're into our own. I don't know yet. It's taking on Liquid Courage. I saw some people talking about Liquid Courage, a strong team coming out from. I don't know what flag that is, so I'm not going to bother. But Rockin'
Finland.
Finland? Okay. Thank you, sir. My world knowledge is obviously lacking a little bit. And, we are here with there's another RockinEsports team, the EU team, apparently.
It's Sweden. It's Sweden. My bad. I knew it. I know.
See, this is why I don't try with flags.
Dude, okay, Finland is white, Sweden is yellow. I forget these things, but you know what? That one geography class I had 18 years ago is paying off right now.
One team. RockinEsports EU going to be going up against Rapping Tables since they did just win against the 9 odds, and it does look like Executable Gaming is waiting on the winners of Serious Business and Top 5 Tetris players. I like that name. Top 5 Tetris players. Those are your bracket updates here, guys, in the Rockin' Esports. Everyone's looking for that $500 of gear that the winning team will be awarded. Second, third, and fourth go home with RP, so it's not exactly empty-handed, but it's also a big experience to get involved in these kind of tournaments because it's the only way you're going to transition to the top tier of teams.
Yeah, and speaking of top tier of teams, I mean, we definitely have the top tier of teams represented here. I mean, they have ratings here for each one of the teams just so you get an idea of their skill levels. So you can click on the teams, get to know a little bit more about them. And we definitely have a lot of high plus plus, which is, of course, the highest rating that you could possibly get, at least as far as Rockin' Esports ratings are concerned, your teams here in this tournament. Now, something we haven't talked about, we've been talking about the brackets, talking about the tournament, talking about how awesome all of the sponsors are, and they definitely are awesome. But we haven't talked about the picks or bans yet so far. So what are you seeing coming out here so far, FourCourt?
I'm a little surprised at an Evelyn ban, to be honest, but trolly or not, it was a thing that happened. So Evelyn, Malphite, Alistar, 3 typical junglers, or 3 kind of, you know, really sustainy champions that you don't want to deal with. Evelyn, with her new stealth rework, can definitely throw a loop for most people, although she is still fairly easily countered out in the terms of team fights. On the flip side, Auri, Ryze, Diana, all viable mid champions, so banned out from Team Purple. So it's kind of interesting how we have themed bans going on. Well,
you know, there's this guy named Shushay, right? And he's like, hey, I play mid, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pick a champion, and her name's gonna be Evelyn. I'm gonna put her mid lane, and I'm going to go on like an 84-2 game winning streak with Evelyn. It's obviously not quite that egregious, but he's definitely making a name for that mid lane Evelyn, and has been completely destroying noobs right and left with him, and it's actually been so dominant that now mid lane Evelyn's a thing in the North American scene. I've seen a few at my own elo, a lot at higher elos as well. It just works for no reason at all, and it's just it's so frustrating, but she's actually really good mid, and so a ban not necessarily worthy quite yet, but it does look like, speaking of Evelyn, somebody that nobody really gives a whole lot of credence to, looks like we will have a Katarina picked up in this matchup, and I'm actually really impressed to see this. New Katarina, been getting a lot of love recently. Saw her picked in the last couple of Go for Lols. The quarterfinals had Katarinas in them, so I was really glad to see her getting a little bit more tournament play and getting picked up by a lot of high elo players. And this looks like Chippy this time around will be running Katarina, so I'll be impressed to see whether or not he can make a name for Katarina and for Rockin' Esports here as they go up against LoL 101.
I've taken off the summoner spell blockers so you can see exactly what everyone's going to be rocking, but I was told in chat that the Evelyn ban is focused towards Maldoror over there on LoL 101. So I'm going to take a quick look at him. He's not amongst the top played champions, but he has 478 games with Mordekaiser. That is
wow.
That is a lot of games with Mordekaiser. But apparently,
and you look at his match history, and you just see nothing but 10-4, 13-5, 9-0, 8-0, all in ranked. So this guy actually plays a fair amount of Evelyn. So really great target ban there at Maldoror.
Yeah, that is exactly why. No trolling there. They are just legitimately afraid. But yeah, LoL Esports, or sorry, LoL 101 on your right, Rockin' Esports on your left, and you can see the Shen jungle coming out. I'm a little surprised that he did not get banned, but obviously first pick coming out very strong, going to be that Shen. So Shen in the jungle. We are going to have another Severe, our second Severe of the day. I am just getting lucky with these games.
Now, something that I'm really, okay, you're as lucky with names as I suck at them. So I'm just going to like leave all pronunciation like names up to you, and then I'll handle like random other stuff that is definitely way less hard for me. But something I do want to point out that is going to be really hard is Doris here running Rengar top lane. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be AP or AD. It looks like it is actually going to be AD Rengar. Oh, no, man. I'm looking at his runes. He's going plus 50, actually, oh my goodness, he's going way too much. He's going 7 AD with 15 armor pen. So this guy is looking for that early level 1, level 2 jib from Rengar top lane. I think that Irelia is going to be one of the only people that can sustain through that, although it's going to be really rough. With the new buffs to Rengar, they're like, hey, he's too good AP. We need to hurt that and then make him better at AD. And then they just made him like ridiculous at both. So Man, it's just gonna be really, really rough to see how dominant this Rengar can be. I'm already seeing good things, but then back to our last match, Jax was supposed to beat Aurelia there, and you just saw their jungler Cho'Gath just like completely change that matchup 180 degrees. So really excited to see how things are gonna work out this time around.
Well, we're going to have to find out because the game is starting. Round of 16, Rockin' Esports versus LoL 101, guys. Winner will be moving on to the quarterfinals, and that means that we will be moving on too. So, Rockin' Esports, $700 on the line, FourCourtJester and Rapid. We're going to see you guys here on the other side. Alright, game has loaded up. We are now into the round of 16, and that is the wrong scene. There we go. Nice and pure. We're still waiting for Drakes to connect, but we got a little bit of skins coming out. Bloodstone, Tarek, Aviator. Aviator. I really like Kitty Cat Katarina.
Wow. Not something I see a whole lot of, but definitely something I wish wasn't a legacy skin. Otherwise, I would be buying that right now.
What'd you think of Katarina's new remake?
I think that she fulfills a very different role now. The Wraith Camp doesn't exist anymore, so that's really cool because she kills it instantly every 2 seconds that it spawns. It seems like so she's able to farm like stupidly good now. So she has a lot of other like interesting harassment options. And the great thing is that they put the healing debuff on her ult, and people are just starting to figure out how awesome that is because that means that A, heals don't work through it. B, well, nothing works through it. So if you're going to die to it, it's going to be really hard to mitigate the damage. Pretty much Lulu ult's going to be the only thing that's going to save you from that. And you can even use it for a lot of harassment now that it has a fairly low cooldown. So I'm really impressed with them. I really like what they're doing with Katarina, and I think that a lot of people are starting to realize that she actually occupies a very good space as far as AP mids are concerned. So she definitely has a few shortcomings and a few hard matchups, but we'll be interested to see how she goes up against Malzeror, who it is obvious plays a lot of AP mid, and B, does very well with the champions he plays there.
Yeah, it's hard to refute that kind of proof looking back at his profile. I think that the Morgana art is a lot more fierce, I've noticed.
Man, and when you look at her face portrait in the champion selection, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
It's scary. It's like when they changed the Malzahar artwork. It's like, wow, where did that come from?
Alright, so I'm going to reorder these a little bit, but again, on your left-hand side, Rockin' Esports taking on LoL 101 quarterfinals, if you guys are just joining us. And again, kind of coming out lucky. I absolutely love seeing a Severe in play in these games, and I am really counting my blessings at this point just to see more and more of her. There we go. Everyone's now reordered. Shen jungle, however, I mean, Shen, very strong jungler, very good in terms of split pushing, at least past level 6. Do you think the game will go that long to see more of the Shen utility come out?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's Shen not really. Ooh, Lucky 7 has now reconnected, so welcome back. I'm glad we can have all 5 people in the game for both teams. Actually going to buy some items, so always a good choice. And yeah, as far as the Shen is concerned, not optimal in the jungle just because his clear speed not the greatest. I mean, you want to have Shen, so you want to pick him up, but not something. I really think that even Shen top lane versus Rengar would have done extremely well. I just don't understand why they put Aurelia up there. However, Aurelia has a lot of options against Rengar. Aurelia is that kind of champion that says, hey, if I don't want to fight you, we're not going to fight because of the way Equilibrium Strike works. So hopefully they're just like putting Aurelia up top as a really safe pick. She's going to go back and pick up a 4th potion a little bit late, but not too far behind there. Now Rengar is going to stack up his Q here on the double golems, so he's just getting a few extra stacks. Maybe actually only go for 1. No, he's going to actually pick up a few stacks here, and that means he's going to go for this early burst damage on Aurelia. I am so scared to see what he's about to do.
Yeah, he's going to get, looks like even as many as 3. But going back in terms of getting that 4th health potion seems to be something more and more we see more in top lanes because they by the time they do get up there, they're not going to really miss out on too much. And is it me or do we have some really strange leashing going on at both of our buffs?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused by that myself. I mean, Hefty Schlumpf had a little bit of an issue there. He's dropping down to a couple, or about 300 or 400 health. Although he, with that health potion, is going to be able to get right back up there. Oh my goodness! And Doris, unfortunately, not able to get off a lot of damage onto Lucky 7 there. So I don't know if that initial charging of the Q was as effective as it should have been. But yeah. Really unfortunate to see Lucky number 11 still alive, because I would have expected him to be dead by now. But Rengar really, doing a good job at sort of keeping Aurelia at bay, but Aurelia doing a good job at just basically living. As far as those jungle leashes were concerned, I mean, not really the most standard of leashes, but hey, everybody seems to be pretty happy as both buffs are now successfully annihilated. Amumu just a little bit slower through the jungle.
Someone in chat said Morgana face looks like a zombie. I kind of agree. Looks very, again, fierce and primal. Hello, Amumu, going to be finding Newtonic here. Did he reveal himself? I don't think so, but Newtonic is going to come in for that gank. Big damage landing on top of Doris here, but here comes that Amumu counter. Doris is going to go down for the first blood, but Newtonic is going to be dropping very quickly as the return. Hefty Schluff with red and blue. I don't know. Do you think he could have taken on Slevin? Has a lot of mana. So
I think they would have traded. Oh, but there is the binding drop down there. Malzeror picks up one auto, and now here comes in Hefty Schlub for the and one. I think the Katarina is going to be able to pick him up, and no, the bandage toss. Oh my goodness, snipes everywhere. She will finally go down, but then it's a 2-for-2 trade. Amumu, how do you do that? I'm so physically attracted to your undead body right now.
Yep, and it's a small body too. It can go places. And anyways, yeah, 2 for 2 in that top lane. Good trades off really there. You can see some of the skill now coming out from both teams. I do know RockinEsports, at least sponsored by, well, RockinEsports, but LoL 101 bringing the pain as well. So that means gold per 10 coming out now for both Irelia as well as Amumu.
And yeah, that's it's kind of the start you want to see for Amumu, not necessarily start you see a lot out of Aurelia, although Heart of Gold started to be realized as one of the greater items in the game. Oh my goodness, it looks like a lot of damage coming down there. There's the exhaust, actually the exhaust going down onto Prankster Carl. I'm not sure exactly what kind of pranks he was up to, but definitely would have liked to see that onto Aurelia, who actually got super chunked there. However, a little bit of sustain coming out of both Tarek and Sona, so we'll see that situation be rectified a little bit. It looks like a gank middle lane forcing a lot of pain down onto Chippy, so he's going to be down at about 400 health. Morgana definitely having a little bit more of a dominant laning phase. You can see Morgana even having a little bit more mana right now than Katarina, so that's obviously going to be a crushing advantage. I'm not sure how Katarina is going to come back from that.
Considering Katarina doesn't have mana, period. Yeah, I'll go with that.
a crushing advantage, not just a little one.
But yeah, that blue buff on Katarina, though, I mean, she's trying to do the spammy harass with the bouncing blades, and it's kind of working. I mean, Malador's sitting in around about half health, keeps getting chunked down, have to use those health potions. So eventually, this will just mean when we get in terms of a gank for Amumu, it's really going to have to be some kind of super gank, because Morgana will just immediately become the target with her low health. Not too sure that'll happen anytime soon, though. Amumu in the jungle. Shen sticking her in and around his blue. Is blue going to come up? No, it shouldn't come up anytime soon. So he must be going top for a gank.
And yeah, I think that's something I should have pointed out earlier, is that though that was a 2-for-2 trade, Amumu fed double buffs to Katarina, and that is absolutely horrible, and so that's going to be really, really rough, although Amumu now just coming back with Malzeror towards that mid lane, may look to try to reclaim those buffs, although Chippy says, you know what, I'm going to peace out. Out of potions, going to go back and pick up what should be the majority of a Hextech Revolver. There we go.
Not avoiding the Q. Down south, Krill taking a little bit of extra damage. Not that spell shields wasn't exactly optimal. Prankster Carl just trying to do a little bit of body blocking, but no kill's going to go down in that bot lane quite yet. Krill, you're flashing on my screen. You're making me nervous.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how elite Krill is right now, but definitely needs to kind of be a little bit safe, because, I mean, it's not Tristana, so you can't jump in and jump out, but Krypton definitely has a lot of options right now. Huge wave of the turret, unable to be CS'd. I mean, Krill's just going to try to hit that with a boomerang blade or some ricochets, but even you can see pings going off onto Doris. He's coming down. A giant party here in the bottom lane. There's the damage down. So much damage being dropped there. They all just pops. Krill immediately. Oh my goodness, Malzaror even gets the binding down there onto Chippy. The chain stuns are down, but that turret does a lot of damage to the hefty Schlump. Not hefty enough to stay under there for too much longer. And now with Doris here, oh my goodness.
Why is Doris here?
Dude, Dragon Bro, he's going to be able to jib this thing so incredibly fast with an Amumu there. It's going to be the fastest 5-man Dragon I've seen in a long time. Chippy, however, that binding. Oh my goodness, that scared me so bad. But now Katarina's still in the area, gonna get jumped on, gonna get snared there, and with the Ignite going down, Doris has the spell shield on her, but gets jibbed instantly. Hefty Schlump does go down as the blue team kills the dragon. Oh my goodness, Shen with the steel Nutana gonna fall for it, but oh my goodness, going 1 for 2 and the dragon pickup. Shen making the plays.
Wow, I didn't not. How did Shen even get down there? He doesn't have a level 6. I guess he just dashed across the wall. I was too focused on Katarina.
Yeah, Katarina not having a really good time, but did help in assisting in that Amumu kill. So Amumu did go down once again. He's not having a whole good time. He has their assist, but 2 deaths. So he's only sitting on 1 gold per 5 right now, going down bottom to try to save the turret. But yeah, Shen dashing over the wall, able to get that smite off. So, man, if you guys doubted the RockinEsports lineup, man, they got a Shen that can outsmite the counter jungle on Amumu, who was unfortunately dying at that point, so made it a little bit easier. And Shen, really great play there, able to pull things back and make that a really good trade actually. So now actually RockinEsports with the gold lead, even though it's 3-6 in kills.
Yep, Global Gold does really account for a lot of things. It was a good attempt at the 4-man gank in the bottom lane, but without that dragon, it just really kind of didn't pay off as much as it should have. At the same time, I really was able to take the top tower. That's the price Doris has to pay for not being up there. And yeah, Katarina, I'm not too sure what she was thinking with her ultimate suicide at the dragon, but at the same time, she's in the mid lane. She's sitting at 1-1. She has her Hex Tech now, so she's got to be feeling pretty good.
Now, I've actually seen a lot of Katarinas go Haunting Guys first, just because with the spam ability on her W, the Haunting Guys just makes a massive difference. However, it's the same difference you're going to get with the Spell Vamp from the Hextech Revolver. I mean, if you thought Spell Vamp was good on Katarina before, it is now super good. However, Rengar here pops his. Is he going to ult for this? I don't think so. Yeah, he's just going to come down there, make his presence known, and just say, you know what, top lane, not really doing it for me right now. He's able to roam all the way across the map as his turret, unfortunately, has fallen. So first turret of the game does go to RockinEsports. So they're already coming away with that dragon advantage, the turret advantage, just a lot of global gold everywhere. And so Rengar, I mean, he made his presence known bottom lane, but really they lost out a lot for that. He's going to be able to be pretty dominant in this lane. But with just the Phage Endurance, is that going to be enough to go against all of the items that Lucky 7 has? It hasn't completed his Phage yet, but does have that Heart of Gold, so does have that gold per 5 ticking. We'll see exactly what Doris is going to do about that. So, oh my goodness, he does have a red buff, but with that snare, or the slow at least, Doris is going to jump onto 7. 7's in a little bit of trouble here. He cannot get away from Doris. He's just going to have to go all in on that. There's the Shen ult. Doris taking the Ignite as well, forced the flash away, and now jumping back in there. He's going to go, oh my goodness, look at that damage. Doris picks up the kill under Ignite, knows he cannot get away, just trades 1 for 1, and wow, that damage.
Well, now you know why exactly Lucky 7 did not run from that fight. With the Shen on your team, automatically any one-on-one can become a 2 versus 1. But yeah, Rengar able to bring a lot of pain to that. Not too sure she expected that kind of burst, but that is also one of the things you really can't underestimate on a Rengar, especially with that necklace of his. If you start stacking, well, he doesn't have his necklace. Okay, never mind. Never mind. No necklace.
No, he's not accessorized. There's no Mrs. Rengar to help him accessorize right now. So
wow, this bottom lane, man. I'm sorry, but that bottom lane was too good. What a beautiful bandage in there from Hefty Schluff. Got the kill on top of Tarek. Didn't get the kill on Severe, so you know, could have been a little bit better, but they got the Tarek, and mission accomplished.
Yeah. Well, whatever his Schlump is, it is indeed quite hefty, as he's been landing those bandage tosses all game long. I mean, just for that first couple of kills in the top lane, that just clutch random bandage toss out of nowhere to snag a kill for himself up there, and then even still doing it down bottom lane, man. guy is on point with those. So I mean, it's kind of just like last game. The junglers are just pulling it out and or putting it in the case of Hefty Schlump, who has been proving to the other team exactly how hefty his Schlump can be. Because man, this Amumu is doing some work. He has double gold for 5, just flying around everywhere, Superman style, going through walls. Because hey man, what's a wall to an Amumu? I don't know, but. I mean, definitely advantages in both categories. I mean, even though it's 4-8, it's easy to say, oh my goodness, LoL 101 is taking them to school. Get it? Because it's 101, ha ha ha. But actually, the gold count actually dead even between these two teams. And if I say actually one more time, I'm going to stab myself in the throat with a rusty spoon. I'm going to turn it over to you so you can use more than just one word.
Actually, Res Chippy dropping. I had to, I'm sorry. But no, he gets ganked out in the middle, misplayed a little bit around him. Morgana with the ultimate, able to solidify the deal with Doris. Doris, again, not having really that much fun up top. Is now more roaming style, as you did say. Amumu now covering the lane. But this should also force Aurelia to start, you know, exploring the world. You know, go see what the other lanes are up to. I mean, you are the aviator Aurelia. It is in your blood to go where no Aurelia has gone before. And she might actually come mid.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't just like spontaneously disappear in some random islands, I'm okay with that because I mean her namesake definitely doing a little bit of that. Hopefully Lucky 7 stays lucky and stays alive as she did come in for a little bit of extra pressure. Rengar there as well. He's just going to go back looking to pick up those Merc Treads. Will that be what he picks up? No, he's just going to go for tons and tons of wards. No, there are the Merc Treads, making me look like I actually know what I'm talking about. Good guy Rengar. Good guy
Rengar. 9-4 as the score, taking a little bit of a gold advantage, about 1,000 gold now. LoL 101 pulling slightly ahead, and part of that, you know, due to the kills, looking down south for more kills. However, Krypton flashing on out with the arcane shift as we do have Shen coming in for that dash. Unfortunately, not able to land anything. Prankster Carl not looking so healthy, but at the same time, gank defeated. But other than these kills, we do have some pretty decent creep scoring going on, especially looking now as we're bottom, 92 to the 113 on Ezreal.
I mean, yeah, you point that out, and that's also going to go along with 2 kills. So you can see that the aggregate gold difference is 4,600 for Ezreal, 3,800 for Sivir. So there's almost about an 800 gold difference there between the 80 carries, and that is going to make a huge difference, as you can already see that pretty much is just those Berserker Greaves that Sivir just cannot quite afford yet.
Movement is one of the keys, as well as map awareness here in any MOBA. But you know, as long as they have that Sona as well, it's going to be okay, I think.
You can see Krypton using the W to make way for the Q. He is still doing what most Ezreals do and maxing Essence Flux first. It's a little bit harder to land now, but oh my goodness, there is a little bit of a binding. Catching Katarina out in the bush. The Oracles for Newtonic able. Oh my goodness, Hefty Schlump. Apparently missing his first bandage toss of the game there, unable to quite land that, although it was dangerously close. Still here in the bottom lane. Is the spell shield up for Sivir? Yes, it is, so she's going to be able to body block that. However, will she know when Moon is coming in?
Wow, this has turned into an Arab game all of a sudden. All 5 members of both teams in and around this bottom lane as we're looking.
Look at those skill shots. Yeah. So scary.
They're looking for that in. They want something to happen here. I mean, it's a lot of lost time farming. Dragon is up, however, so now we kind of see the methodology behind LoL 101. I think it was just really a calculated response from RockinEsports.
Alright, and it's still up to that Shen. He's going to ult in there. Prankster Call taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down there, but who took the Dragon? Nobody's taking the Dragon quite yet. Yeah, it looks like Krypton's going to go down there as well. Newtonic's trying to battle the Dragon, but he's just going to fall. Dragon resets, so nobody's going to take that down. 5-12. Will Hefty Schlump go down? He has a double kill for Aurelia. Lucky 7 looking to try to make it out of here. Will he go for Drakes as well? Will the Blade Surge come off in time? Oh my goodness! He's down to so low health. He's just going to get auto attacked here. Can he dodge the Dark Binding? That's what it's going to be about. He does dodge, but he dodges back into auto attack range. Then Drakes comes in for the kill.
Wow. If Drakes had gone down there, it would have been a triple for a quad. But at the same time, Dragon dropped dangerously low, but I guess it got into reset range because it had accelerated healing by the end of that fight. But I liked the tactic that RockinEsports tried to do. They had Taric in the front with a Shen shield on top of him. unfortunately for them, I don't think they really expected the huge burst that really did befall their entire team, as it almost looked like two of them insta-gived right off the bat, turning this into kind of a one-sided team. But Irelia did pretty excellent for the situation, considering.
Yeah, I mean, Tarek just exploded. I don't know what was going on there. He just blew up. I mean, I guess like you said. I mean, I get the idea. You send in the support with a Shen ult on him, so he's not gonna die. But he just disappeared, and that was a 4v5. And then it became even worse because of how low the dragon was. Both teams really wanted that dragon. You can see that it really did not work out for RockinEsports because they kept trying to go for that. Like, oh my goodness, all I have to do is live for a second longer. And you saw a couple people just drop because they were trying to get that dragon because it was at such low health. So definitely things turning heavily in favor. Well, I guess not heavily in favor. Just about a 3 to 4,000 gold difference between the teams now. Not unsurmountable by any means, but still, LoL 1-on-1 starting to pull away with this.
That was interesting. We had the stun landing on top of Krypton, but he was still able to arcane shift somehow while stunned. So maybe just a visual timing issue. But there goes the next Dazzler. Out goes the Boomerang as well as the Radiance. And here comes the hefty Schlumpf just trying to ward that off. We didn't have Sona there to back him up, and now Sona will be in town. So she's just going to heal him up, no problem. You were talking about Boots a little bit earlier, but Severe not deciding to grab Boots quite yet. Instead, picks up a Bloodthirster.
Yeah, well, Ezreal also has that Bloodthirster, so I guess it's a good choice for Sivir, because she does need that lifesteal. And there is the stun, the shatter. Oh my goodness, Lucky7 not able to get the Blades jobs just because of how fast Arcane Shift is. Amumu staying around. He knows this is where the action is going to be, forcing out even the ult from Sivir. So I don't know if that was necessarily necessary. And that's one of the reasons Sivir didn't opt to go for those boots, because she has an attack speed steroid. Ezreal kind of has one in the Rising Spell Force, but Sivir knows that she can come up with one of her own if that is exactly what she needs. Top lane, it looks like Rengar want to take down that turret, but just cannot get the push on, as Newtonic knows that his Stand United just now coming off a cooldown. He can't split push about as much as he wants. Doris unable to do so, so he's just going to be committed up here to this top lane. I don't think that's a big problem, just because he does need to actually take down that turret eventually.
While taking down the turret will signify the express will to roam, and he is down the turret at this point. Maybe he's feeling that he has to compensate a little bit. But Doris, but not leaving this lane. It will be fine for a while, but it will hurt the team in case any kind of 5v5s do emerge. It does look like everything's kind of spread out at this point. Looking for the binding on mid, res Chippy. Not exactly in range of that. We got Newtonic now swapping out, tag teaming with Lucky7, and 7's probably just going to be able to defend this tower for a while. I mean, as hard as Doris is pushing, there's not really too much else to do in that top lane.
Yeah, I mean, Seven's just coming up there to basically shove Rengar off and say, you know what, this is my lane, and I know what you're trying to do. You're not sneaky about it. I'm just going to hang out here, and my turret's going to stay alive. And really, if that turret stays alive, that's a major victory, because when your top turret is alive, that means you're going to send somebody up there to deal with it. And that's going to have to be Rengar, and that makes it a 4v5 elsewhere because Shen can split push. So even though Shen is put in the jungle this time around, still extremely effective at forcing these really rough choices. Although will Irelia be able to make it up top lane because of just how fast Rengar kills turrets? I mean, those Qs just hurt turrets so much, especially when they are empowered.
Now, I could be wrong, but I'm looking at Rengar's items, and he will grab that tower, no problem. Is he going for a frozen mallet first?
It certainly seems like he could be going Frozen Mallet or for a Sunfire Cape, but it looks like Lucky7 is going straight to the graveyard as one more snare goes in. There is the ult. Will it kill him before Shen arrives? No, Shen makes it back into town. Lucky7 gets pounced on. So Doris going on a rampage, and now Newtonic in a little bit of trouble, but there is Chippy for the and one the assist, but bottom lane's where the real action is happening. It looks like the 2v1 after basically Prankster Carl got a prank played on him instead. He explodes once again. I mean, it's taking his Tarek exposed to be. I guess it's all the hybrid damage and magic damage as, oh my goodness, he explodes. Morgana comes top lane a little bit behind Katarina, but just in the nick of time to pick up that kill on Shen, and just action all over the place.
Well, something had to give at some point, but at a 17-6 score, LoL101 teaching their lessons very effectively as they've now taken a 6,000 gold lead. And now with so many people dead, we do see that Krill's bottom as well as Katarina mid. We're just pushing into this top, although it does look like we might be coming in for a lane gank on top of Res Chippy. That is a fairly healthy tower though by Chippy.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of towers, I mean, everything going down top lane, bottom lane, towers exploding right and left, and you can see the tower for LoL101 dangerously low, sitting at just about 500 HP, 465 versus the tower for RockinEsports, way healthier at almost 2,000 health points higher.
Well, it's virtually untouched, I guess, at this point. Katarina been doing a good job mid. Let's take a quick look at her. 180 creeps to the 176 of Morgana, but the key difference there is Katarina's 1 and 3, whereas Morgana so far shutout score of 407.
And Katarina going for a Gunblade first. I mean, that's cool on top, Katarina, which you don't really see, but it's just not going to be anywhere near the damage potential that Maldoror has right now. I mean, he has already completed his Zhonya's Hourglass, looking for his Death Cap next, and with as strong as Doris now, as you said earlier, completing that Frozen Mallet, I mean, just things going so well already for LoL101. They started with a little bit of a disadvantage, able to pull things back, and now it looks like they're going for yet another dragon.
Yep, and it's going to go down virtually undetected. There are no wards really anywhere on the map. We have one by the enemy wraiths, and then one in the defensive tribush. So no dragon coverage means that we're going to be picking up that dragon for free. You should see the next one around the 29-minute mark or so. And Team LoL101 just kind of wandering around, saying, "All right, well, what next?" I mean, we've taken virtually all the turrets. We've taken the dragon. We're taking all roughs. Could go for a Baron, or they should start now pressuring mid. Grab that last outer turret of RockinEsports.
What they're going to do is they're going to put the lanes that have an advantage in their lane that they have an advantage in. And they're going to say, hey man, you can't win this lane without putting more people here. You can see Ezreal bottom, Rengar top, and they're just saying, hey, if you want to send Sivir bottom versus Ezreal, fine. We're fine with that because our Ezreal is actually doing extremely well. If you want to send Irelia top versus Rengar, Rengar's huge right now. That Frozen Mallet is absolutely immense. He's 6 and 2, has a lot of items all over the place, and just not something that you're really going to be able to deal with. And now sending Shen bottom, I mean, I like that choice from RockinEsports. They recognize that Sivir can't really 1v1 Ezreal right now, so they're sending the split pushers, sending the Shen. That is definitely the right choice. However, Rengar coming down from top after sort of freezing the wave in the middle, and now that's going to be 4v4, which is actually a 4v5 for RockinEsports, so I think that's actually going to be a pretty good fight.
It'd only work if whoever Shen decides to shield doesn't die by the end of the shield. As you said, we have some pretty big items now picked up for LoL101. So, for example, they jump up on that Sivir and she gets stunned. She might not live throughout the entire shield, thus still making it a 4 versus 4. At the same time, it's the only logical choice. I mean, Shen can split push. He has to kind of cover that other lane while we try to create an advantage in this mid, and now pushing up with this creep wave in the middle. It does look like we are going to be trying to put pressure on that 400 hit point tower. Just the defense right now is too strong.
And yeah, I mean, there's a strong defense, but really, a strong defense is not what you need right now. You need offense to force Shen to stop split pushing. The only way that Shen's split push works is if the rest of his team can 4v5 effectively without just hemorrhaging kills right and left. And I really feel like Krypton's going to try to make that happen. He's aggressively pushing. He's going to be the one poking the tower. He's going to have Hefty Schlump and Doris right in front of him. But will we see the initiate? There's the stun, but the turret will go down. Shen's going to have to ult in here. He's just kind of hanging out, kind of looking on who he wants to ult in on. I think he's probably going to choose Irelia when she jumps in. I wouldn't want him to choose Prankster Carl again, because we just saw exactly how much this guy just did not exist 5 seconds after he went into that last dragon fight. So I don't know. I mean, you can see already LoL101 pulling up back a little bit because they know they have to do something. They have to deal with the team. Otherwise, Newtonic's just going to take the turret.
Well, we took the Ezreal ultimate to that top lane. Here comes the Shen ult, but wow, Tarek melting under the pressure, and Irelia as well. And again, exactly what I just said. If the shield breaks and they die before Shen can even get there, as you notice, Shen did not move out of his lane. Just too much damage right now. LoL 101 able to take that 4 kills for 0. I'm not even sure if Shen showing up would have actually made a difference, but they killed the Shen target before he could even get there. So he's just going to continue split pushing.
You know, he might have been able to get a taunt off that would have saved somebody, but he was just left stranded, and that's what you were talking about. You know, it's all about, does the target that Shen stays at survive?
He's going to tank it. He's like, for Demacia! And then he realizes, nope, not Garen. Can't do it. Morgana actually now over there to deal with him, and ultimately that split push did not work exactly as planned.
No, and that's the problem with a Shen on a weak team. Like, when the rest of your team can't do it, it's not going to be something that you want to do. You're going to have to stay as 5 in order to make that, in order to make your team as strong as possible. The split push, sure, was a great idea, but Shen's still not able to get that turret just because he spent so much time wasted trying to channel that
Stand United. Yep.
Stand United. I was like, stand as one, stand together, stand United Airline. No,
Just
okay,
gotta
so
think
here we
about
go.
X-Men. Stand United. Yeah.
All right, there we go. X-Men. Like, I think that they use that line a lot in the Avengers too. That's regardless of which superhero. Yeah, I think I actually heard it. There's this one scene with the cameras panning around and all the superhero. All right. Well, regardless of exactly which superhero movie it is, speaking of superheroes, you got an 8 and 2 Rengar. He's pretty heroic himself. 1, 3, and 12 Amumu. He's been in a few team fights himself. He's going to go for an Abyssal Scepter. The Abyssal Sunfire into Despair and auto attack combo from Amumu is just ridiculous. I mean, you got Curse Touch, reduces your magic resistance by 35. You got another 20 magic resistance reduction, which can actually get you below 0. It's not just penetration, it's reduction. And then you have the AP damage from both Despair and Sunfire Cape. It's just way too much damage. And it's damage that's, I mean, you can't reduce the magic resistance from Baron, but it's still a lot of AoE damage, a lot of magic damage, and a lot of damage that Baron buff does not like to feel, as you can see that buff melt ridiculously fast and completely uncontested, as that is just a free Baron buff for LoL 101.
Well, I'm going to take a quick look at their vision. They have finally warded out the dragon, and a little bit in their own defensive jungle, but absolutely nothing on top of coverage for Baron. Absolutely no idea where the enemy team is. It's fairly obvious, though. If they're not on the map, and they're not in our wards, and they're not in the lanes, it's probably Baron. So, yeah.
You know, it's a fairly accurate assumption here, and I would have thought of that myself. But apparently, I don't know. RockinEsports had a few other errands to attend to, but LoL 101 able to successfully take that down. It looks like RockinEsports' life in this tournament could be in jeopardy. There's a shuttle on Lucky 7. He's going to dash in there a little bit after Shen teleports in, but Sivir just 0.5 peel as she just blows up to Doris. Nobody could keep Doris off of the AD carry. He melts, Shen melts. GG, well played coming out from both Sivir and Tarek. There's the ace, and it looks like LoL 101 is going to push it home for the victory.
A very convincing victory indeed. 26-6, dropping about, quick math, 17,000 gold difference. That's a pretty impressive amount of gold to hold over top, and this is really all I can say. Hopefully you heard that. There's supposed to be the GG button. GG button coming out. Yeah, 30-minute game, so wasn't the fastest, but slow, meticulous, and calculated. Very convincing team fights at the end. LoL 101 taking it home, which means that they are now into the quarterfinals. That is exciting in its own right, because that means that we should also be now into the quarterfinals here of the RockinEsports $700 EU West Tournament.